Leo, my darlings, welcome in, welcome back. My name is Millie. This is the Ghost Bride Tarot. Thank you so much for joining me here today. Today we're going to do a pretty extensive reading for you guys. We're going to look at some channeled messages that my team and I have brought through. And then we're going to move into your tarot portion of the reading. So we're going to be here for a little while. Settle in, take your time. Yeah, we've got quite the bit to get through for you guys. Your energy this month, it feels really nice, Leo. So I'm excited to do your reading. Now, if you came here because of the sign-specific part of this, cool, great, wonderful, nice to have you here. If you came because of the title, I would very much say, like, yeah, leave the star signs aside. If you resonated with the title, I would definitely just stick around, see what fits for you. What else did I need to say? I don't know. One of these days I'm going to get smooth with the intro, but not today. All right, so moving straight into your channeled messages, I'm getting a lot of stuff around celebration for you guys this month. And I'm like, I keep seeing rice being thrown. So some of you guys may be getting married. For others of you, it does feel like a graduation of some kind, because I was getting a message about like high honors. Like, so yeah, you've graduated something with high honors, and there's like this really celebratory energy around whatever that is for each of you. Some of you guys this month are definitely like pouring yourself like head first into some kind of new project. Like there's something around you guys like learning a new skill or a new language or something that you're very much like devoted to and like pouring a lot of time and dedication into. Some of you may be working with somebody else on this project. It definitely could be involving other people, because there is something around teamwork, and I'm hearing teamwork makes the dream work as well. Okay, some of you guys are in a period of like waiting for something at the moment, and it does feel like there's been like perhaps a sense of like stagnancy, or you might have felt that, yeah, things weren't just like evolving in the time that you would have liked to see them evolve. But yeah, I would very much have some patience with this. The way that Spirit's presenting it to me is like any interruptions, any detours that you may have had to take, actually, Spirit's saying something about like the scenic route, like the tourist road, like something about like a leisurely cruise, like in a car. Yeah, so if you've been feeling like things aren't moving in the way that you would like them to, there is this energy of like perhaps enjoying the scenery, or like taking a little bit of the pressure off in some way, and like perhaps enjoying this detour if possible. All right, that's moving us into, I was getting like really strong messages about like ley lines and like placement on the earth. And then I was also hearing like trust where you are led. So there is this energy around like some of you will be traveling this month. It's definitely across land. Movement. All right. And Leo, that does actually feel connected to the Aries reading, because they were getting stuff about like speeding trucks and bullet trains and things like that. Okay, what else have we got for you guys? Oh yeah, okay, so keeping with that like vehicle thing, I was getting something about like a convoy or like a caravan. So like the way I'm seeing this is like a lot of the same vehicle, like all traveling in, Spirit saying in succession to the same place. And I keep hearing, I'm actually hearing like bridal party. That's what I'm hearing. And I'm seeing like all of the bridal cars now, like all lined up in a row. All right. Something important for you guys, and I don't know why it's coming up now, but there is something coming up around like Halloween time for you guys. What I actually got was Feast of All Saints, and when I googled the time frame for that, it was the end of October, early November period. So like Day of the Dead kind of vibe around that. So put that energy where it fits. It definitely feels like it's significant though. So I would, yeah, check out what you were doing at that time. Perhaps pay attention as it comes up this year. Very much like a really strong connection there to that. I was also getting some really strange places for you guys. So I got a place called Lisbon. And when I Googled, like, is that actually a place? It's in Portugal. So yeah, that's there. I also got something about Jamaica, Africa, and the Mediterranean. So yeah, there was stuff around that. Moving down. Okay, moving down into this all right, so I'm hearing congratulations, and I'm hearing something about a fat boy. So maybe there's been like a new baby or like something like that. Like there is, I'm hearing pork chop, and it's cute. Like it's said with a lot of love. Like it's not. Okay, some of you guys may be like introducing a new family member this month. It could be like a baby puppy that's like a little fatso. I don't know. There's this funny energy around that. Yeah, for some of you it's a new baby. For some of you it's a new project that you're like birthing. Um, yeah, it feels fun. It feels happy. It feels excited. And there's definitely like this like, yeah, I'm hearing a lot of things around like chunky monkeys and things like that. Okay. For those of you that are feeling like you're not yet in this celebratory energy and you're still like kind of waiting for things to like pick up pace or get moving in some way, I was seeing an hourglass, and the way that I was seeing the hourglass was like the sand was like running out. So very much the time is now is coming through, and there was a connection between that message and the Taurus reading. So if that resonates for you and you want to get a bit more information, definitely check out the Taurus reading with that. Um, stuff around like car insurance and like policies and like renewal of those things is coming up. And I was hearing something about like I was hearing something about a rear end. So like pay attention while you're driving. Don't use your phone and shit like that. This makes me really nervous to put this out here because the last time we had a message about like a bump in a car, like the next day I had a little bump, and it wasn't even in my car, it was in my friend's car. So I don't really want to put that out here, but like car insurance and policies and things like that was coming through. And a couple of last messages for you guys, and then we'll get into the tarot portion of your reading. Something made with metal by hand by someone that you very much love. So I'm seeing like blacksmith, like I don't know if metalsmith is a word, but I'm hearing that. I'm also hearing goldsmith, which could also be a name. Yeah, something special, sacred, sentimental, made by hand, and it does feel like this is a metal piece. Some of the other signs we're getting stuff about like things made with wood by hand, and like very much like a grandfatherly kind of vibe coming through with that. But for you guys, Leo, I got very much like metal, like you guys are working with metal and like heat in some sense. Okay, cool. Some of you guys are okay, Spirit's saying something to me about sacred geometry, and I was getting all of these like mathematical equations and like mechanics stuff. Like there's a lot of stuff around like they're showing me the inside of a clock now where it's like all the different cogs like working together. And then, okay, and this is very much connected to that because I was also getting a message about snowflakes, and then I was hearing like they were talking about the intricacies of nature and geometric shapes. You guys are like studying something here, I think. If this isn't something that you're just undertaking now, this could be what you're celebrating, like the completion of. Spirit saying graduation. Okay. And I was, yeah, all of the fire signs are getting this like really strong energy connected to like university, and the way that Spirit was bringing it through was actually super funny, right? So the way they were bringing this through for me was that, yeah, Earth is a school. We all know basically that Earth is a school, yeah. But once you realize that, once you start to have some kind of spiritual awakening, some kind of spiritual expansion, wherein you realize that this is a human experience that you're having here, you're a spiritual being, all the rest of it. As soon as you come to that realization, Spirit's saying to me, then you graduate school and you go straight into Soul University. And like it's cool the way that they explain it to me, because like universe and university and like that whole like interconnectedness, it just felt quite nice the way that they were putting it through to me. So some of you may have been like graduating from school and then going into university of some kind, and it doesn't have to be like some kind of academic thing. This could very much be a spiritual graduation that you guys are celebrating. Okay, that feels nice. All right, something about 1144, something about spot fires, and also something about interruptions from important women. Again, any detours that need to be taken this month, I would very much say to like pay attention to them. I'm also actually seeing you guys having something about a visit from someone this month, right? So you'll get a visit from someone this month, and the way that it comes through is like it may not be like the best timing for you. You may be a bit busy, you may be like just really, I don't know, maybe not in the mood to see people. The way this comes through is like that visit is going to replenish and restore you. And like I see you being like really invigorated by one interaction with one person, and that can almost like, it feels like a woman, and it feels like it's an important interaction. It's super weird. I don't know why this energy is coming through, but it does feel like that's important this month. I would pay attention to that. Some of you guys also, before we get into names, because we'll just finish off with names over there, what I was also getting was like some kind of naval connection for you guys, like something about boating. I'm hearing something about a captain. I'm seeing like I'm seeing the captain's hat. Okay. And yeah, lucky last thing for you guys. I was almost lucky last thing. So I was getting something about, I was seeing someone like walking out of somewhere and like tearing up something, like tearing up paperwork and just like throwing it over your shoulder. Like, I'm never going to need this paperwork again. Something about like, and I see you just being like heaps peaceful, like feeling really good about that as that happens, like just tearing up this contract. And it feels good. So that also is very, like, they keep leading me back to this celebration. Like, whatever's going on with you guys, it feels really, really nicely. It definitely feels like whatever you've been working towards is definitely like coming to fruition here. Some names that I got for you guys, some names that you may be encountering, they may be important to you. If they're not, like, just pay attention as they come up, see what's happening around you, see how you feel, all the rest of it, because yeah, they are of significance in some way, shape or form for you guys. So the names that I got were Tara, Eve, Eva, Brent, Julie, Andrew, Maria, Logan, Graham, Marcus, Craig, and Jeff. And I think that was absolutely everything. Oh yeah, and something about bikes, and I'm hearing a tricycle. Something about bikes. Obviously, when I wrote bikes, I thought motorbikes because I'm obsessed with motorbikes. But yeah, I'm definitely hearing tricycle, and also something about Japan and like descendants of the dragons and things like that. So if that's been calling to you, or there's been like dragons appearing in your realm, I would very much pay attention to that. Dive into anything that seems to call to you in whatever way, and see what the universe is trying to say to you there, because it does feel like there's a lot to celebrate with you guys, and you may still be like in the waiting phase of this, or you may very much be like doing all of the prep work to get there. Feels good. Your energy feels really nice. Okay. All right, we're going to move now. Leo, my darlings, 16 minutes of channeled messages. That's pretty good. We're going to move now into the tarot portion of your reading. So we're going to look at your internal realm versus your external realm. Then we're going to go a layer deeper. We're going to look at your heart space. We're going to hone in on that and see what's going on for you personally in that heart realm. Then we'll go look at your external relationships and how all of that's working together. And then to close out, we will do what to expect and surprises from the universe. So stick around if that's your vibe. I was also getting, I have actually got a few more channeled messages for you guys. I was getting stuff around finger tattoos. I was also hearing something around like the yin and yang symbol, and something about concrete, like laying a foundation or like building a foundation. So yeah. All right, let's see what else. I don't know if I said this, so I'm filming this on the 22nd of May 2024. All of my readings are timeless though, so if you find yourself here at a later date or whatever, I would very much take the messages as they apply to you, because time is not a real thing. All right, time is malleable. Spirit saying time is a real thing. They're correcting me. Time is a real thing. Okay, all right. They're right, but time's malleable. Time's stupid. Time doesn't make much sense as far as I'm concerned. Okay, Leo, moving into your tarot portion of the reading, let's have a look at internal realm for Leo, please, and then we'll look at external. Internal, external. Okay. Internally, you guys are feeling caged, halted, like there's something, you're afraid of something. All right, Spirit, show me what I need to see here, please. I'm just going to clarify this a tiny bit, because there does seem to be a state of confusion with you about which way you want to go. And it's frustrating and it's weird, because it doesn't seem like that matches up with the channeled messages portion of the reading. So I want to just try and... Spirit's saying delicate decisions are being made at this point in time. Yeah, you are under the pump. Absolutely. Okay. All right, so the way this is coming through is some of you, the sense of frustration is with the waiting time. Some of you are very much like well and truly dedicated to the path that you're on. I see you taking like big leaps and bounds down that path, but there is some kind of stall, or there's some kind of wait time, or there's something that's just not particularly progressing in the way that you would like to see that progress. internally, that's causing some kind of disruption for you. That could even be creating like a sense of like self-doubt, questioning. Some Spirit saying for some of you, you're doubling down. So like this sense of confusion that's come in, it's actually caused you to like head in the opposite direction and just like work harder rather than trying to like pause, reevaluate, reassess. There is something about you like feeling like you want to see the end of this, feeling like you want to get shit done, feeling like internally there's some kind of Spirit saying internally there's a discrepancy, like things aren't making 100%. They're not lining up for you mentally, and that's creating some kind of dis-ease within your heart space and your internal realm. Like the mental realm and the heart space seem to be clashing just a bit here. And it seems like it's like weighing quite heavily on you. Let's look at external. So externally, things could have even taken a turn, or you could have like had, things could have taken a turn in a way that you weren't expecting. Like there could have been some kind of element here where you felt that for some of you, it's a knock to this, like you're, the way that Spirit's presenting it to me is for some of you, it's been a knock to your stability. Like something that's happened externally has then created some kind of questioning or discourse within you internally. And it does very much feel like this was perhaps initiated by one person. There does seem to be this like, I want to get into heart space and relationships pretty much straight away, because the way that this is presenting to me is like the internal torment that you're facing at this point in time is very much due to something that's happening externally to you. It does seem to be like something that you feel a lack of control about, or some sense of like frustration, or like you're cautious. Spirit's saying you're very cautious about the moves that you're making at the moment. And I think that that's a good place to be. Like if you're still having some kind of disruption between the heart space and the head, like there needs to be a clear flow, there needs to be alignment before you make any moves heading in any direction, but particularly forward. There does seem to be this energy of like sit back, wait, reassess, let things come to you. And it is bringing me back to that stagnancy and interruptions piece. And this could also be like that spot fires, like perhaps in this moment of like feeling like you're really caged, feeling like things the way that Spirit's presenting this to me is like something or even someone has added an element of doubt, added an element of fear, and that has absolutely affected you internally. And I think that with that fear element being added, now you're in a state of like not really knowing what to do, not really knowing how to progress forward, not really knowing whether you're coming or going like this way or that way, like which way are we going to go here? Which is interesting because it seems like you're on a steady trajectory. Like from what we got in the channeled messages, it does seem like, okay, so I'm seeing a vision of like a red light and a car pulling up next to you, and that car is like pumping music. Pay attention to the interruptions that arise for you this month, Leo, because I very much feel like there's something to be gained. There's something in that space that is for you to then pick up and proceed on with. There has been some kind of disruption externally. For some of you, it does feel like it may be involved like a different direction or some kind of turn or juncture perhaps that you did not think that you would then have to come up against. But the way that it's coming through is like you've actually realized how strong you are in this latest cycle. There is something around like a gaining of strength. There is something around like, although you're overloaded and although you're stressed and although you're feeling like this sense of overwhelm to a degree, there is this energy of you like somehow. See, this could even lead to like spirit saying more appropriate opportunities. See, this also could be for some of you. For some of you, this could be an opportunity that came in and you may not feel confident to go forward with it. You may not feel like you have all the resources or the knowledge, or you're not prepared in some way. You may be questioning back and forth, am I going to go forward with this? I do see you going forward with it. I actually see you like taking the ball and running with it. And it feels like maybe that is also connected to like that ripping up of contracts, because although I see you guys having like a steady path and a steady trajectory, like maybe you rip up a contract when something better comes along. Like we're going from the 8 to the 7 here. Like there is something that's alleviated. There is a different opportunity that perhaps Spirit keeps saying detour, 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 detour. And like they're showing me like when you take a wrong turn or whatever on Siri, and then she just reroutes you, and then you still end up getting to where you're meant to go. So any detours that are arising for you guys this month, I would very much like take that as divine intervention. Absolutely. All right. Leo, your energies, like I can see why you're frustrated and you're feeling a sense of like, do I move? Do I stay? What do I do here? There is this incongruence between what's happening for you internally and then what's showing up externally. It doesn't make sense. There is something around what's happening externally that doesn't fit what's going on for you internally, and that's creating like some spirits showing me like sparks now, like metal, like sparking. Okay, let's what are we going to use for? Let's do heart space and relationships for Leo, please. I do want to use the Tarot. Okay, so for some of you, and Spirit's bringing this through, it's really specific, but for some of you, there's been like an added element that's then made the choice easier for you. Like for some of you, there is like a baby or some kind of new opportunity that's coming through here that's then like alleviating your stress of like which way to go. Like it's almost like, yeah, 10 of Cups and the 9 of Wands there as well. So I don't want to take them. I want to shuffle properly first. Sorry, Leo. Just let me give the cards a good shuffle and then we'll see what actually wants to come through. While I'm shuffling, thank you guys to all my new subbies. So stoked to have you here. If you're getting anything from this weird reading that seems to be dragging on a little bit, like, share, subscribe, all that jazz. Yeah, I do appreciate your patience. Good tarot takes time. Sometimes it takes me a while to like get the story out, and particularly to make it like general so that it like applies to a vast collective of you. Give me 2 cards in the middle. Okay. Spirit saying something about a shift, like a switch, like a change, it's a shift, it's a gear. They're showing me gears. You've shifted gears. Maybe a relationship with someone has shifted gears or will be shifting gears. Okay. Something in your relationships is like taken a real big twist here. And it feels like that twist has very much left you in a state of like not really knowing exactly what to do. It does feel like internally you are still juggling, weighing up your options, trying to find a solution that not only feels right to you, but feels right there is something about like feeling entrapped within a situation or a certain dynamic. You know what? They're bringing through something about like a change of heart, and that did come through in the Cancer reading. Maybe somebody else has had a change of heart and that's affected you somehow. Maybe there's been a conversation, maybe there's been something that Spirit's saying something about the belly of the beast. Some of you like really may feel like you're in like the eye of the storm, the belly of the beast. Like there is something about like this. You could even feel like you're copying it from all angles at this given point in time. Like there does seem to be like a lot of weight on your shoulders, a lot of responsibility that's coming through with that, and a feeling of like heaviness, a feeling of like perhaps even like being quite defensive in this given cycle, because there does seem to be a lot that you're trying to like categorize, decipher, make sense of like mentally, because the heart space, there's no matching up between the head and the heart is what Spirit's saying. Take your time with that, like be really gentle with yourself through that process, because they will align, things will start to make sense. Generally the problem is up here. Generally the problem is this one trying to do too much and then getting in the way of the clarity that the heart space holds and is trying to bestow. There is this energy around like perhaps something coming in that takes you by surprise, an element that you didn't see or you didn't recognize as being valuable, and that then somehow helping to alleviate or to change your perspective in some way that then brings more ease to you. It's super weird because your channeled messages energy was like celebration, happy, and like we could say that we've got that here, yeah, with the Empress and the Ten of Cups. However, there is a lot of bullshit that you're working through internally and within the heart space that's very much then reflected or being influenced by the external. And it's funny because it seems like whatever added element, whatever surprising element that comes here, and this could even be from that interaction with someone that you really don't feel like spending time with, and then they like say something to you, and that could like, it could just be as simple as like an offhand comment that somebody makes that could then alleviate all of this stress for you. And I'm seeing you like, Spirit's saying some of you are changing your opinion. Some of you are definitely like changing your mind about something, like gaining new information that frees you. And it feels like it's really uncomfortable. It feels like perhaps this like twist, this turn was not something that you expected, not something that you prepared for, not at all something that you were like. Spirit saying some of you felt like incapable of dealing with it. Like you may have already had so much pressure on your plate that when this came through, it was just like, Spirit saying for some of you, it's the straw that broke the camel's back. This does actually feel quite deep. I don't even want to get into the specifics of it because I could go down so many different avenues here for you guys. I am going to do like more general collective readings into some of these little energy waves that I've been encountering through the readings, because I do think that some of you may need more information of a specific nature in regards to whatever this is. But to keep it generalized, it does feel like at this point in time, there's a state of confusion internally for you. And I would say to honor that. I would say to like give yourself the grace and the time to like mentally figure out whatever's happening in a way that then settles into the heart space in a way that feels okay. Yeah, because that incongruence between the head and the heart can be really, really destabilizing. So take care of yourself through that process. The way that this is going to show up externally is like there will be an added element. It could even come from somebody younger than you. It could come in the way of a different opportunity that presents itself that you are very much like resistant to at the beginning. I very much see you like not being 100% sure about it. But then you may decide to like, you may be fired up by that and then just go completely off into like a new direction that feels like it's less mentally draining on you. Like it feels like it has like this sense of comfort and safety that perhaps you're seeking here. Like there does seem to be like this like quite emotional period that you're in where it's like mentally draining you, mentally like analysis paralysis kind of vibe is coming through. Like you're in a prison of your own mind is what Spirit's saying to me. And take it gentle with that. The mind does a beautiful job of trying to protect us and trying to understand and decipher this life that we live, but there is more to it. Like there's a spiritual aspect here that your mind, it struggles to grasp. So take your time with that, and then allow for these things to kind of, Spirit's showing me spot fires, like lighting the pathway home. And it could even, for some of you, feel like maybe like breadcrumbs. Like it could just be like you find one breadcrumb and then you've just got to go a couple steps and just hope for the best, that you're headed in the right direction. All right, I'm going to move into, oh, I don't have the deck that I wanted. I knew that was going to happen. Shit. Where is that deck? Okay. I'm running out of time. All right, so for your what to expect and surprises from the universe, we're going to use the Angels and Ancestors Oracle because I don't actually have the other deck that I wanted here. And then, take care of your needs straight away. Like this is very much a time for you, Leo, to like sit back and allow for things to like make sense in their own time. I very much would not be trying to rush any processes here. I would very much just be like sitting back and allowing for things to slow into place in the way that they will. Again, Spirit showing me that clock. And I'll tell you what, it brings me back to that message at the beginning though, where they were saying like the time is now. So that feels good. Like it does feel like you won't be in this Eight of Swords for much longer, is how Spirit's presenting it to me. All right. Unexpected surprises from the universe, please, Spirit. Love and let yourself be loved. Trust in higher forces and be the light. So I would very much say that some of you guys are even perhaps like thinking about reopening the heart space to something, someone, some idea, something in the past that perhaps wounded you in some way. I would take your time with that. Allow, okay, Spirit's showing me a lotus, and they're showing me like the petals unfurling. So like each petal will unfurl in its own time. I would not rush this process at all. It very much feels like, see, Spirit saying some of you are watching the flower buds and just thinking that they're never going to bloom, but they will open. Like the flower will blossom in its own time, and it's a gentle process is what Spirit's saying to me. Yeah, drop your shields, drop your guard where necessary. Like if you're feeling like perhaps you're being a little bit too rigid, or you're being a little bit too, Spirit's saying cocksure for some of you. Like there is like this energy around you, like perhaps wanting to be all fired up, but then not really having the confidence to back it up. Like your energy seems to be like guarded this month. And it does seem to be in relation to like external, but it's creating like a lot of internal disruption for you that then is creating further problems, like further. Spirit's saying some of you are catastrophizing things. So yeah, I would very much take your time with that. Be gentle with yourself through the process. Obviously honor whatever reactions and emotions are arising within you, but it does feel like there is something that's like broadening your horizons, opening you up in a way that like there is a shedding that's happening here for you guys. The way this is coming through is like unexpectedly something will shift. Something that has felt quite stuck for you guys will shift in a way that like then, Spirit saying then warrants celebration. And you know what's actually super interesting? So they're bringing in this message around like, so, you know, like certain apprenticeships, you do an apprenticeship or you do some form of study and there's like a time period, yeah, like 2 years and then you can graduate, yeah. what they're saying to me is like, this isn't like that. This is something where you only graduate when the master says that you graduate. You only graduate when like the sensei believes that you've actually mastered all of the qualities that you're supposed to master here. So take your time. There is this like internal spirits bringing it back again. This internal discrepancy, like something that you're doing or feeling or saying that doesn't 100% match up with up here. So take your time with that. Like be really gentle with yourself through the process of trying to align those two things, because the heart space knows what's right and wrong. The mind though does a really good job of like interacting with the ego and all the rest of it, where sometimes the mind can, you know, make a mountain out of a molehill and things like that. Unexpectedly, it seems like things are going to become like, there's a different perspective that you gain from this, and it feels like one that you're quite resistant to, but it definitely feels like it's going to be something that comes in to alleviate some kind of mental illusion or disillusion that you've got, some kind of clarity that comes through. They're showing me the owl quite prominently here. And I was getting like owl spirit coming into the beginning of your reading. You may feel a sense of like feeling stalled, feeling a lack of balance in relationships externally. And that can be something that like really creates this kind of discourse for you mentally, because it can be like, I'm putting in all this effort, I'm being really transparent, I'm being really honest, really open, like I'm really like articulating where I'm at emotionally with people, and then it doesn't seem to be like taken well or responded to in the way that you would have liked. There will be some kind of change of heart, there will be some kind of different perspective that's added here, and then that leads you to stability. That leads you to feeling like your external relationships, there's more harmony between them, there's more like direct communication that makes sense. We're not butting heads so much in the Seven of Swords. We're not like having these like, yeah, there's a lot coming through for you guys around like perhaps being a little bit resistant, particularly to other people's opinions, and that being something that may not serve you moving forward. I would very much say to like, yeah, be open to anything that could potentially be of benefit to you. And really, like that means being open at all times, like really paying attention to the people around you, the places that you go, like, yeah, be observant is my advice here, because it feels like you may have put yourself into a period of like, yeah, just being like all up in the head and not remembering to like check in with the heart space and make sure that those two spirit saying chakra points are aligned. But I was going to say that they're working, you know, in cohesion, and it's a collaborative effort between the heart and the head. And you know, if somebody has to take the driver's seat, make it the heart. Don't let the head take the driver's seat. The head is, you know, a beautiful tool and a terrible master. So try to remember that. I am seeing you guys coming into celebration. I am seeing you guys having some sort of restoration. It could even be that you've been feeling like you've lost all inspiration. Everything's just kind of shit. Blah, blah, blah. That will change. I do see you guys having like this spirit saying it's a reinvigoration of like that teamwork energy. Yeah, so this month I do see you guys having a hot minute of being like really confused, really frustrated, perhaps even like feeling like that you're consistently being interrupted, or that things aren't going in the direction that you would like them to go in. There is this energy around like things will change, and things will change quite quickly, but it does feel like you need to allow those changes to come in. You need to be accepting of different avenues, different opportunities, spirit saying additions. There is something about an addition that's coming through, and we did get that in the channeled messages. I would pay attention to, you know, what are these distractions and detours perhaps offering you? Like, is there something within this that could be of service to you in some way? Because it does feel like all of your frustration, all of your mental like confusion, like I see you being like confused and frustrated and like just not really being able to like make sense of it. Sit back, honor that confusion, you know, wait until the hour comes through and you've got like that wider perspective, because it does feel like there's something about this that perhaps you're missing, perhaps you don't want to see, perhaps you're in denial of. But the more open you can be to, you know, accepting the things that we can't change, that's also a really good piece here of like opening yourself up to different opportunities. And something about like a reinvigoration of your confidence is coming as well. So if you've been feeling like really stagnant, like things aren't, like all your hard work's not paying off for some of you, then I would definitely say to like head down, ass up, stay the course, stay true to yourself, and not let this like mind chatter like get in the way. Something about like water as well. So some of you may need to like use water as a cleansing tool, or like be near water, or like go to the water if you're feeling uninspired. There is something about like some of you guys are like artists in some sense and you're feeling stagnant. So Spirit's saying like go to the water, go be near water, become inspired once again, is how Spirit's presenting it to me. Anything else for Leo? Okay, I don't know why, but Spirit's saying, stuff about psychic development. So there is a lot of stuff coming through the collective about like, you know, awakenings and things like that. Spirit's saying some of you maybe, and they're bringing back that geometric shapes and the intricacies of the patterns of nature. Some of you may be very much like trying to develop, or Spirit saying fine tune some kind of psychic ability, and that could also be where that mental frustration or like the feeling of like not moving forward could be coming into play. Again, take your time with that. The spiritual lessons, they're the best ones, but they don't show up in the ways that you'd expect them to. There's always like some kind of little covert thing that Spirit's always doing to try and help you and to support you and to get the lesson learn faster. But there is this energy around like just take your time with it, be very loving, very gentle with yourself as you maneuver through whatever. Spirit's saying it's a mind fuck. Okay, your energy is like all up here this month, Leo. I would very much recommend like meditating, quieting the mind in whatever way that you can, dropping down into the heart space and trying to find some clarity there, because that is where the best answers and the best directions will come from. There is also this strong energy around maps coming through, and that does lead me back to that ley lines and the trusting where you're led. So take your time with all of this stuff, Leo. Very much like, yeah, trust in higher forces, you know, trust in your own ability to discern the right pathways for you and the right energies to align yourself with, because that whole teamwork and the dream work piece is definitely feeling like this has perhaps impacted where you're at now. Like you may have chosen the wrong team, or feel like you've put yourself in alignment with people that aren't really like supporting where you want to go. So that could also be that coming through as well. Yeah, there's a lot coming through for you guys that feels like really uncomfortable and really like upsetting in the intellect. Like there is something that just doesn't feel like it's fitting right, doesn't feel like you've got all the information, doesn't feel like, perhaps for some of you, like this has felt like it's just been like this long-term state of confusion. Like maybe there was some kind of unfinished business that you had with someone, or some kind of situation where it just didn't fit right. I see that coming to a close. I see things like Spirit's showing me like loose ends on a thread, and then you know how you use a lighter to like burn away the loose ends. Weird one. All right, Leo, I'm going to leave that one there for you guys. Your reading took like a weird turn that I wasn't expecting. So I hope that made sense for you guys and you actually got something from that. If you did, please hit the like button, comment, because I love to see what's going on with you guys. And yeah, absolutely let me know how that fits for you guys, because it's definitely not the reading that I thought I was stepping into. Like I really, like your energy felt heaps good. to begin with, and now it kind of feels like what's going on for you guys. Yeah, I'm excited to do the rest of the fire signs and see what comes through, because there is this weird energy around like celebration, but perhaps some of you aren't actually there yet. So take your time with that. Be really gentle with yourself. Yeah, once again, my name is Millie. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you to my spirit team. Big love to them as always. And yeah, I'll see you when I'm looking at you. Bye.